Let's take a look at this next question. This is find the range of values of the constant k, which is in the C position here of a quadratic, so that the graph of the curve with the equation blah does not cross the x-axis. So if it doesn't cross, it could touch, or it could be completely miss the x-axis. So if you're thinking about the equation, and just have a quick look at how this could be, if it doesn't touch at all, it could look like that, yeah, or like up here somewhere. But it could also touch. It could also just touch at one point. So it doesn't crossed, but it has touched. So what we're not looking at things that actually cross like that. This is not what we're looking at. So it's either going to look like this, or it's going to look like one of these type of things, yeah? I mean, it's going to be that way up because it's a positive graph. It's not negative x squared. So let's find k. Now, to find k, we have a nifty way of doing that, of course, because really what we're trying to find here is we're trying to find the missing coefficient. The coefficient of x squared, of course, is 1. The coefficient of x to the 1, because really that's x to the 1, is 5. The coefficient of x to the 0, because really this is an x to the 0, we don't write it in, but is k, but we don't know what that is. So let's find out what possible values of k we would need if this equation does not cross the x-axis. It could touch, but we want it so it does not cross. All right, so let's have a look at what that could be. And to find that, we've used the discriminant equation. So we're going to say b squared minus 4ac, and in this case, we're going to have to say is, well, if it does not cross, well, it could cross, but largely we'll say it's going to be less than 0. That means it doesn't cross at all. It doesn't touch at all, but it could touch. So we say equals, because equals 0 is touch in one position, less than 0 is doesn't cross at all. No points of intersection. So remember, equals is 1 point of intersection, less than is 0 points of intersection, and greater than, of course, is 2 points of intersection. And that's our guiding, I suppose, theory that underpins the way we do this. All right, so let's have a look. Let's substitute these in. So we're going to b squared. Well, here's our b term, a, b, c. b is 5, so it's going to be 5 squared minus 4 times a. Well, coefficient of 1, coefficient of x squared is 1. That 1 is an a, so it's 1 times c. And c, well, c is our k, and that's going to be less than or equal to 0. All right, well, we can simplify this very quickly. This is just going to be 25 minus, well, 4 ones are 4, k is less than 0, or equal to 0. So we want to get k on its own. We just want to state very simply k equals. So I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. Subtract 25 from both sides. 25 minus 25 is 0, leaving me with negative 4k. Oops, turn that into a 4. Negative 4k is less than or equal to 0. Now, negative 25. So, but we don't want negative 4k, we want k. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. And of course, negative 4 divided by negative 4 leaves me with k. Now, the moment we divide by a negative, or we multiply both sides by a negative, we are going to change the inequality direction. So in this case, we divided both sides by a negative, but the same will be true if we multiply both sides by a negative. And I've certainly seen a lot of people who have got to this point multiply both sides by negative 1, so they're dealing with positives on both sides, and they could do the same thing. But I've chosen to divide both sides by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. 1 times k is k, and we've got negative 25 on 4. Well, of course, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So you can just leave that either as 25 on 4, or if you wish, you could say that k is greater than or equal to 6.25. So 6.25 would be our answer there. But of course, we want to add in the last bit that's going to, well, this is the money shot. This is the thing that gives us the marks, because we have to say what the answer tells us about the question. In other words, what we have just found out. And what we have just found out, that the graph with the curve of the equation, this one here, does not cross the x-axis when x is greater or equal to 6.25. So I'm actually going to write that out. Yeah, so I've got the graph, therefore, the graph of the curve with the equation y equals x squared plus 5x plus k does not cross the x-axis, x-axis, right? When k is greater or equal to 6.25. And that last bit there is really important to write in, because it shows that you understand what it is you've just discovered, what it is the answer tells you about the question. So please, whatever you do, write in this statement here.